Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. You definitely want to stick around for, so please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, as y'all know, I think Skip Bayless is easily one of the most annoying people in all of sports. Not because he's not good at what he does. It's not like as if he's not highly skilled at his job. Not like as if he doesn't have tenure. Not like as if he doesn't deserve to have his own show. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is all of the games that Skip Bayless plays in order to make a point and gain ratings. He plays a lot of dirty games, and a lot of that we're going to get into today. Now, about 2 days ago, Giannis Antetokounmpo went on where? The Daily Show. And while he was there, he was talking about a bunch of things. And if you know Giannis, or if you know about him, you know Giannis he's a fun guy. He likes to crack jokes. He usually cracks dad jokes. And he seems like a very, very easygoing, simple guy, right? So he was up there, and there were some jokes that were written for him. And at a certain point, he made a joke. He didn't make a joke. Let me clarify that. He read a joke that was written about Kevin Durant. After that joke after it was written, he read it, and it was picked up by Undisputed. And when Undisputed picked it up, they tried to turn it into this big thing of Giannis Antetokounmpo is disrespecting Kevin Durant and he's out of line. He ought to know better. Just because he hasn't lived in America all his life, he should know a lot better. And we posted on our channel where I just totally said I thought that was a bunch of nonsense, right? A bunch of nonsense. The guy went up there and read a joke, and they were trying to make this big thing out of it. And what they conveniently decided to do was leave out the part where he heaped a ton of praise on Kevin Durant. So this morning when I woke up and I was kind of doing research on what to produce today, I came across a clip from The Daily Show where it seemed like they were addressing some of the dirty games, disgusting games that Skip Bayless likes to play, and they called him out by name. But before we get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor to T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly this segment. We want to play bits and pieces of it here from The Daily Show that Hassan had to cover as he was reacting to what Skip Bayless had to say, and then we're going to come back and react to it. So take a listen to what he had to say here.
And being in the media is a very strange thing because we'll work on jokes, right? And then, I'll look down the barrel and I'll say them, and then they just get piped out to the world. And sometimes you get pulled into some drama. So it's only my second day here, and I wake up this morning and Skip Bayless put me on Undisputed.
You keep joining super teams to win an NBA title. How about we work out together sometime so I can teach you how to carry your own team?
Wow. It's supposed to be cute. It's supposed to be tee-hee funny. It's supposed to be key funny.
Right.
And it's just not to me either, because it's unfair to Kevin Durant.
Right.
And he is the thinnest skinned superstar I've ever closely observed. So he is not going to be pleased. And I'm waiting for him to fire back via Twitter.
Nor should he.
It's like day one, I brought out, NBA All-Star Giannis Antetokounmpo. I brought him out on the show. He was our first guest for my week. And I brought him on actually to plug his amazing foundation that's in honor of his father, the Charles Antetokounmpo Family Foundation. And one of the things I was talking about, I don't know if anyone here is a fan of Giannis, but he's this really beautiful human being. He's one of the best basketball players in the world, but he has this like immigrant dad green card energy. Can't do it. So we load up the prompters. And I go, look, I know comedy's not your shit. Go to this camera right here, read it. And he's just like, hey, LeBron, and he's doing his whole thing. Hey, LeBron, and then he couldn't even get through. And he's like, I'm sorry, LeBron. I love you, LeBron. Like, LeBron, I love you. I love my family. I love my mother. Like, he could not do it. One of the lines he said was, inadvertently, he got through this line that I wrote for him. And he's like, KD, let's work out together so I can finally teach you to be strong enough to carry your own team. Oh, no, why did I say that? No, it was so adorable. Oh, KD, no, I love you, KD.
Where's the camera?
Where's the camera?
KD, you're one of the best scorers to ever play this game. I respect your game. You've led by example for 15 years. So you were my favorite player growing up.
I hate this. Entertain me.
I respect your game.
But then Skip Bayless this morning just ripped out that little clip of Giannis going to camera and being like, KD, you need to get stronger so you can carry a team on your back. And then Skip is like, see, that is so mean to Kevin Durant. Because we all know he has thin skin. I'm like, wait a second, Skip. Are you trying to big up Kevin Durant by talking about Kevin Durant? We should be nicer to Kevin Durant because he's clearly a pansy who can't handle it. Like, what are you saying? And that's the thing. I'm only on day 2 of, doing this guest hosting thing. And that's the vexing thing I hate about being a part of the media. It's this clickbait, Instagram reels, TikTok media grift of like, oh, if I just snap out the right amount, oh, baby, I can ride the wave. Like, while you're on the train to work, I can get you mad. Like, oh, I can, feed that algorithm. Lord Algo, right? Is Skip is perpetuating the very same reason why professional athletes don't go on any of these shows. You know what I mean? They've created a dynamic where you gotta go full Darth Maul in order to be a former athlete that does media. You gotta go full Draymond Green, Kendrick Perkins, to camera. I'll be like, I'll kick you in the nuts. And the producers are like, yeah, do more of that. Or be a normal person, right? That's why all the athletes are like, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing and just completely ignore you guys.
So you heard his rebuttal. I'm going to take this a step further. All right? I'm going to take it a step further. I have said for quite some time now that Skip Bayless, for somebody that's in his late 60s or whatever, is an extremely, extremely obnoxious person. Skip Bayless is one of these guys that just cannot seem to corral himself enough to behave as someone of his stature and his age. What do I mean by this? If you look at the constant jokes and the constant attacks that he had on Russell Westbrook, at first it was funny, right? He was making the highlight reels or the low light reels of Russell Westbrook. It was funny. But then it turned into a thing where they were doing it every single day. And at a certain point, it started to become obnoxious. And people were like, okay, bro, we get it. Enough is enough. Then Russell Westbrook gets traded by the Lakers to the Utah Jazz. He gets bought out and ultimately decides to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. And you would think that, you see, because Skip's point was that Russell Westbrook was a terrible fit for the Lakers, not just because of his play style, but in most cases, he tried to say that Russell Westbrook was a bad fit also because of his personality. This is what Skip Bayless was doing, that he's a bad fit, his energy, he just messes things up. He's somebody that likes to pout, all of these different things. Then Russell Westbrook signs with the Clippers. Skip Bayless goes on Twitter and basically starts to say, oh my God, this is a terrible move. Is he going to be up there? Is he going to be pouting? Is he going to cause troubles for Ty Lue the way he did for Darvin Ham? This is what he started doing. Then he came back. Russell Westbrook, I believe it was his first or second game. Skip comes on TV and literally starts inventing reality about Russell Westbrook to continue to push his agenda about Russell Westbrook. The same thing the host of The Daily Show was just pointing out, where you pick out a little segment to try to create a picture about a scenario or a person. What did Skip start saying? If you notice, Russell Westbrook was at the end of the bench. As the game was going on, he seemed upset that he wasn't even cheering for his team as the game ensued. But then we found out that was an absolute lie. And as a matter of fact, Russell Westbrook was on the sideline cheering for his team. But when Skip came on TV, that was not what he said. Then what happened? The Clippers lost the game, I believe it was, to the Minnesota Timberwolves, where they gave up the ball 24 times. They had 24 turnovers. And what does Skip Bayless do? He comes on TV and decides, you know what we're going to do to continue to paint this picture of Russell Westbrook that I'm the one driving this bus on. What does he do? He creates, again, yet another low-light reel where he's pointing out 2 turnovers of the 4 turnovers Russell Westbrook had. But the team had 24 turnovers, Skip. Why are you only focusing on the 4 that Russell Westbrook had? The only reason Skip is doing that is the exact same reason he parsed that clip of Giannis on The Daily Show to basically try to create a narrative about somebody. That was all he was trying to do. To me, I think this is disgusting. It is disgusting because you're doing it at the expense of other people's reputation. And the irony in all of this is, if you dare say anything about how Skip goes about his business to him, he takes the ultimate offense. But for him to do it to other people, it is fair game. You know you're a bozo when you have other shows calling you out that have absolutely nothing to do with sport. You know you're a bozo. What you're doing to Russell Westbrook is disgusting, bro. I was never a Russell Westbrook fan, but what you're doing, these constant attacks and picking on the guy, is ridiculous. And then you tried to do it with Giannis, conveniently leaving out the parts where he immediately started giving praise to KD. And he's like, you know KD's going to respond. Why are you always trying to stir up something, man? Why are you always trying to create beefs between people? You know KD's going to see this, and KD didn't say nothing. And if KD had responded, you would have used it as a linchpin to then continue to make more content about it. It's unbelievable. Talking about Russell Westbrook wasn't sharing. It's not true. Why are you saying this? It's ridiculous.